But the drivers are now going to go to 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix, where the lights are off and away we go. It looked like Tetsubi probably in P4 got a good start. It looks like Elias is already challenging Tano down the inside. Down he goes. There's ghosted. Tano has. They're both got a bit of oversteer, and it's still going to be side by side. A bit of sliding there between the two drivers. Tano is still ghosted. Is Elias going to be able to get through? I'm not too sure. I've made that one wrong. Tires, there we go. It is side by side through there. Elias has lost many positions. Tetsubi has made a double overtake into P, and he's now taken the lead of the race. Tano has lost out. He goes into P2. Elias lost out in P3. It looks like Jacob and Mick going side by side as well. And looks like a Red Bull of Devon is going to be able to, or is going to be chasing down as well. Looks like there's a Haas driver going down the inside of Mick. Is Jamie going to be able to do it down the inside? I think he's already passed. It's going to be 3 wide momentarily into turn 11. And there's a few drivers going off there. Tano is still ghosted, and Tano is getting absolutely... no, it wasn't Tano, it was Devon, sorry. Devon was getting a bit swallowed there as it was in AI mode. Tano is ghosted. Tetsubi stays in P1 as it currently stands. However, Tano is looking very close to that Mercedes. Then he pulls to the inside and then sucks behind the slipstream. Then pulls to the inside once again. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 17? Down the inside he goes, latest on the brakes. And he just gets through. He rocks the razor slightly, pushes the Mercedes out, which might give Elias a bit of an opportunity to overtake that Mercedes, as maybe Tano has given his ex-teammate a bit of a helping hand there. Elias is going to go around the outside of the Mercedes. Is Elias going to be able to clear the Mercedes? No, he doesn't. He stays behind for the time being. Tetsubi is going to be side by side with it. Tano got a bit slidey out of turn 2. I think Elias as well got a bit slidey as well. However, Tetsubi has to stay behind Tano for the time being. Tano now trying to retake P1 around the outside of the Mercedes. Tetsubi brakes latest. Oh, and Tano gets forced wide there slightly, and Elias then retakes P2, going around the outside of Tano. Tano gets a bit of oversteer, maybe got tapped by the Ferrari slightly. Down the inside, though, goes Jacob on Devon into the Mickey Mouse section. And Mick, I think, has crashed there. Mick has gone wide and maybe got tapped. And he's now down in P10, not where he would have wanted. Broken his wing as well, so he's going to have to try and come into the pits. As Elias now goes down the inside of Tetsubi. And Elias is now going to take the race lead off Tetsubi. And Tetsubi now is going to have to try and battle with Elias. It's now Bahrain all over again. Is it going to be Mercedes? Is it going to be Ferrari? Tetsubi, though, has a lot of straight line speed and he's going to go down the outside. Is he going to try the switchback, though, on the Ferrari? He stays behind for the time being. However, Elias is just trying to shake him off. However, Tetsubi now has the power and he's going to go down the inside. Is he going to be passed before the braking zone of turn 5? Yes, he is. Elias getting ever so closer to Tetsubi. Is Elias going to try and make a move? He goes down the inside. Locks the Riz. And Elias is through. Tetsubi now back down in P2. Tetsubi sets the fastest lap. Tetsubi now goes down the inside into turn 1. Elias locks the rear slightly. Tetsubi, though, has still got that. Is he going to keep it, though, around the inside of turn 3? Yes, he does, and he's comfortably ahead. And you can just see the straight line speed Elias has, and he's going to go down the inside into turn 11. However, though, he spun Tetsubi round there. Elias, I think, locked the rears, and Tetsubi wasn't expecting it, and then Tetsubi just turned his wheel into Elias. But Tano now is going to be looking all over the back of his ex-teammate, and there he goes down the outside into turn 11, and Tano is already through past Elias into turn 11. However, though, he goes deep. Is that going to give Elias an opportunity to go around the outside out of turn 12? Tano gives him a little bit of a squeeze, though, but Elias eventually backs down, stays behind, thinks better of himself going into the Mickey Mouse section, and I believe Elias is going to just burn that ERS and going to get past Tano. Tano isn't going to make it easy, though. He pulls to the inside to go defensive and then pulls to the outside to try and cover Elias off. Elias is going to be forced to take the outside line, though. I think Elias got a snap of oversteer, though, going through the exit. Tano is Tano maintains P1. Oh, and you can see there, Devon going for a very mighty dive there on Elias, but stays behind. Is Devon going to try and make a send into turn 7? He does. Is he going to be successful this time around? Elias leaves the space though, but no, Devon isn't passed. However, he gets alongside and burns all of his ERS, and he is past Elias. However, you can see there Devon has gone quite defensive. Elias goes around the outside, then covers off the Red Bull. The Red Bull is going to try and send it. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 17. Elias gets the bragging rights over that trio, and he gets in front. Is it going to be Tetsubi or Devon though? Tetsubi has the inside into the final corner, turn 19, and gets in front of Devon. Now is Tetsubi going to try and make a overtake on Elias? He's going to go around the outside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make it down the inside into turn 2? And Tetsubi has done it. Now Devon, will he be able to then re-overtake Elias? Elias has a little bit of an oversteer there, and he's going to go down the inside of turn 3, and Devon now in P4 and Elias in P4. Devon in P3, I mean, and then Elias in P4, who is going to be under pressure by Elias. Devon doesn't have a lot of ERS to use, but Elias does, and you can just see there Elias going to try and make a move down the inside into turn 11. Devon leaves him the space quite nicely, but Elias does have the better power though. Devon is still going to try and hold it though, down the outside into the Mickey Mouse section. It's going to be side by side. It is. And there's contact there. I think Devon might have had to have cut the chicane. Maybe Devon might be thinking, well, I mean, side by side, I didn't really have anywhere to go. We'll see what the stewards say after that. But who's going to be the bravest on the brakes into turn 19? However, look at Jacob. Jacob is getting in on this as well. Is it going to be 3 wide into turn 12, turn 17, sorry, once again? Elias stays in front though. Devon has dropped into P5. Jacob's got the overtake. However, Jacob has gone quite wide there, but he's going to keep behind Elias. Devon is still there though. He's going to try and make a move probably down the inside. Jacob does still have that yellow warning light on fuel. But no, Jacob stays behind Elias for the time being. You can see there though, Jacob is going to try and make a move on Elias down the outside. I think Devon is going to try and he's going to try and get in on this as well, but he doesn't. He stays behind. However, Jacob there goes quite wide. He's going to then have the inside on Elias. Is it going to be side by side once again into this complex? Jacob goes a bit wide there. And there was contact there once again. Maybe Elias might be thinking, you pushed me off there, as Devon is now going to be side by side with Elias. And like, you know, as always, the laggy now is getting in on this. Jacob now on the playlist is in P4. Is he in P4 on the track? Yes, he is. The laggy is quite close to this as well. Who is then going to be the bravest on the brakes? Elias then, just with the better straight line speed, is going to try and make an overtake down the inside. However, Devon then has the outside, and is he going to be past the Ferrari? He's still going to be side by side with them. However, then Devon just gets ahead. Is he going to go inside, outside, inside, outside? He's going to try and make it around the outside. However, Tano is just later on the brakes. However, you can see there Tetsubi has been forced wide there. Tetsubi is still going to hold this around the inside, and then it becomes the outside. Who is going to be in front going in there? And you can see there Tano tried to give Tetsubi the place there as he goes quite slow into turn 14, but Tetsubi overtakes off the track, gets a penalty in doing so. 2 drivers who are just trying to find their feet in tier 1. You can see there Mick goes down the inside of Albo. Albo leaves the space, and Mick gets past the McLaren. But that was good action there from Mick. However, you can see there Albo now going down the outside, and he is once again passed by Mick. However, Mick with the better straight line speed, is he going to try and make a move down the outside? No, he doesn't. Albo covers that off very, very nicely, I must say so myself. Who is going to be the... Well, yeah, well, in fact, who is going to be the winner? Is it going to be Tetsubi, Tano, Jacob, even on pens? It's going to be very interesting to see, as it seems like Tetsubi is going to be taking the win. Jacob is going to be into P2. So around the final corner, Tetsubi comes, I believe, to win, even on pens. Tano is going to come home to take P2. Jacob then, he does go into P2. Elias finishes in P3 and gets the final spot on the podium. Tano settles for P4 with Devon in P5. Zalagi then takes P6. And now is it going to be Albo or Mick that take P7? They're going to be going down the back straight. One of them, of Mick, is going to have to try and make a move. but he doesn't have enough speed to do so. And Albo is just ahead. And he's going to finally get the power down to take a P7 in his debut race. A good race for him. Mick will settle for P8. And there's a very long wait for Somatic Coast. But again, a very good drive from the two debut drivers here of Jacob, who gets a podium, a P2 in his first race in KRL. And Albo with a lovely P7 in his first race as well for McLaren, and Jacob in AlphaTauri.